Whether you are unable to switch your camera on in a Zoom meeting, perhaps you're wanting to do video content for your business, post on social media or create courses, that kind of thing, or maybe you want to start your own YouTube channel. And if you find that the idea of being on camera keeps you from doing those things that you want to do, this video is going to help you. I wanted to just say, sorry, did you take a breath to speak?
I'm just recognizing the missteps and the unprofessionalism in getting this live stream started. I would have melted into...
You would have been a puddle, wouldn't you?
A pile of butter.
Past.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So for me, just to acknowledge that right now in the moment, and recognize I've made a 180 or more degree. I don't know. I don't want to...
It'll be 180.
I don't want to say 360, but it feels like a major shift in that ability to be able to get on and not feel the fear, which is huge.
Steve's going to share a little bit with you of what got him from being terrified to get on camera at all to now being very comfortable. But before we get there, I want to clarify that the fear of being on camera, the reasons vary from person to person. So some people feel they don't like the way they look on camera. Some people feel very self-conscious and don't like people looking at them. Other people may feel they don't know what to say. Other people maybe have a fear of making a mistake. The reasons vary from person to person, or should I say the apparent reasons vary from person to person. Here's the key that's going to help you get rid of this fear for good. It's not about what it looks like it's about. It's not about being on camera. It's not about not liking the way you look or being worried about what to say or anything else from now. If these were things had the ability to create that fear, then everyone would feel it. But everyone doesn't. Some people are fine with it. Some people are a little bit nervous. Other people are perfectly confident and comfortable. So it's not about the actual being on camera itself. It's about what your brain is referring to and then the chemicals it's producing. So as you think about being on camera, the unconscious part of your brain, without your conscious knowledge, is referring to implicit childhood memories that prove you're in danger in some way. And it doesn't need to make sense because that part of the brain doesn't use logic or reason. And then it's pumping stress chemicals into your system like adrenaline and cortisol that are creating the fear. And then as you notice that fear, your conscious mind is then giving meaning. It's because I don't like the way I look, or it's because I'm worried I'll make a mistake, or it's because I don't know what to say. But that's not the real reason. And that's why conscious efforts to change it don't always work, because you need to change childhood memories that are causing the fear, triggering those stress chemicals in the first place. So Steve, I know you're quite a good example of this. So the first time we did any kind of video together, we didn't do it together because Steve would not get on the camera. I had to do it on my own. And I was very self-conscious and nervous and worried about what others would think. But Steve would not even do it at all. So I had to do our first one by myself. Then we addressed those memories, didn't we? We changed those childhood memories.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It feels like one of those kind of events that was so long ago. I know that it wasn't, but it feels like it was so long ago, I've sort of forgotten the feeling of it. But certainly that absolute paralysis around the thought of getting on camera. It was like freeze. There's no way that I was going to be able to get on camera, let alone talk. And recognizing that I needed to engage in what it is that we do in order to be able to find what was triggering that reaction. So as you were talking, if all of that had the ability to cause that fear and anxiety, it would have to do it for everybody equally. One of those examples that pops up for me, I used to watch as a YouTuber that was just this old guy sitting on his porch and talking, and he looked terrible. He didn't have most of his teeth, but he was just like fascinating to listen to. And it was like clear that he was completely comfortable in his own skin, sitting there talking to the camera. And I was like, if what people look like and what they were saying and how they were saying it had the ability to cause that fear, like I was projecting, oh my gosh, I look terrible. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm saying. If all of that had the ability to cause that fear and paralysis, it would have to do it for everybody. And that's not the case. So doing the detective work to figure out, okay, where in my childhood is that reference coming from? What did we find as we started to do some of that detective work? Well, maybe some of that low-hanging fruit or some of the easier connections to make was being 11 years old and being embarrassed, humiliated, shamed in front of the class on a speaking assignment that I had to be doing. So it was clear that those feelings were related to that. But then more importantly, recognizing that that was a good first place to start, but there was also deeper back, going back to perhaps as early as I can remember, there was a fundamental belief back there for me. Based upon what happened in my childhood, based upon my childhood experiences, I fundamentally knew that if people really got to know who I was, that there's no way that they could love me. And for a small child, that feels like death.
Yeah.
Because we all need to feel that sense of connection and love and that kind of thing. So it's recognizing that it was that fundamental fear, that foundational fear and belief about myself, that if I got in front of that camera, I could potentially die.
This is not conscious. So what makes it tricky is that we think, oh, well, there's nothing in my childhood about cameras. Or as we are feeling the fear, we are focused on the current situation, the camera, the way I look. I can't think of anything to say. The whole childhood stuff is happening in the background. As Steve thought about being on camera, the unconscious part of his brain was going back to those memories without his conscious awareness, revisiting the memories of being shamed in front of the class and all of the other experiences he had that proved there was something fundamentally wrong with him. So he wasn't consciously aware of that until we started doing the detective work and we found those links. Then we changed them, all of those negative childhood memories that were proving he's in danger, and then now look at him. Now look at him on camera.
Yeah. The key was that experiential knowledge of knowing just how much fear there was there. Just that sense of paralysis, that knowing that you're shutting down. And having done this work and then feeling such a significant change.
Absolutely. So the following week, so we were planning to do a video a week. So the first one I did by myself because he wouldn't do it. And he had that fear. Then we used the techniques we use with our clients to change those memories. And the following week, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
We did one together and so on. And then we continued to do them. It was so much fun. Do you remember that? We were sitting on the back porch talking in the wind. By the way, this was Facebook Live, so this wasn't a recorded video. And we enjoyed it so much, we couldn't wait to do the next one, and we had so much fun. So I wanted to clarify that these changes to these memories don't mean you'll just be okay to do. This makes it fun.
Yeah, and that was one of those things that was hard to wrap your head around. This should be a lot of work. This should take a long time. I'm going to be stuck with this forever because I have been stuck with it forever. And to be able to make that shift
in minutes
and to go from intense fear to like, oh, could we do another one?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it was.
That is the amazing, that almost makes this feel a bit magical.
Yes.
And really, it's just understanding and really getting clear, having more of an understanding about how this unconscious machinery is operating in the background.
Yeah, the biology of it. And so I did want to add there that this happens in minutes. So something like fear of being on camera, we can change it in just minutes. It does not need to take a long time. You were able to get on the camera and really enjoy it the following week, but it didn't take a whole week. It's just that we planned a video for a week later.
Yeah. And of course, what everybody's dealing with and what everybody's experiencing is going to be unique to be able to make some kind of a declaration or whatever. But my experience has been in all avenues that I've been doing this work for myself in terms of changing those old childhood references and proof to self-limiting beliefs, fear of getting on the camera, my financial situation, all of those kind of things, all of that to me felt like it was going to be major work.
And forever, as if it would never change, or if it did change,
In my experience as a psychotherapist, and working with people,
Yeah.
that was the case. People coming back month after month, year after year to work on these problems, as opposed to just getting an understanding how the machinery is operating in the background and making a shift, making a change.
Very good. Thank you, because that was really well put. And so if you would like to find out more about that, check the description of this video for links. There's a link to a recording of a free webinar that we did a couple of days ago that will give you all of the details of how this works and what you need to do to change it and all of that. Linda says, can you use that fun buzz productively? Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Linda, for that comment. And yes, so you can absolutely use it productively. And in fact, the better you feel, so the more fun you're having, the more excited you feel, the more you're looking forward to stuff, the more you have the prefrontal cortex of your brain, where we do our cognitive thinking, online, which means the more productive you're able to be. So thank you for that. So until next time, lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.